What's going on, guys? Chameleon here. Today I'm going to show you the best class setup for the PKM, specifically for Warzone. This gun is a beast and can lay down some real heavy fire. It can team wipe entire squads or even keep enemies pinned down so they can't move, because it has a ton of ammo and does a lot of damage. And with this class setup, you're going to shred through your enemies. What do you guys think is the best LMG in the game? Leave me a comment below. But real quick before we start, please smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And here we go, let's do this. First up, we have the muzzle. You want to set this to the monolithic suppressor. This will give you sound suppression to silence your weapon and increase your damage range by 7.5%. A silenced weapon is super important in Warzone because if you don't have your weapon silenced, you'll show up on enemy radars every time you shoot, and this will lead you to a lot of trouble. The increase in damage range is also important since we'll be engaging in a lot of long range combat. We'll need this when we're trying to pick people off from greater distances. Next up, we have the barrel. For the barrel, you want to set this to the 26.9 inch extended barrel. This will increase your damage range by 20%, increase your bullet velocity, meaning less bullet drop, and increase your recoil control. The recoil on the PKM is mainly vertical and quite predictable, so recoil control will be great on this gun. Our ADS will drop by 4% and our movement speed will drop by 1%, but it's well worth it for what we're getting in return with this barrel. For the underbarrel, you want to set this to the snatch grip. This attachment only exists for the PKM and no other gun. In my opinion, this is the best attachment you can add to this gun because we get an increase in recoil control and an increase in aim down sight speed at almost no real cost or penalty, just some loss in mobility, which is super rare to find with attachments. The base ADS is 434 milliseconds. With the snatch grip, it'll decrease that number to 416 milliseconds. So definitely roll with this attachment. It's a nice bonus with almost no downside. So these three attachments that we've gone over so far with the muzzle, the barrel, and the underbarrel are all must-haves for any PKM Warzone class that you make. However, with the next two attachments, you'll have some flexibility. You get 100 rounds with the PKM, which is a lot. So I don't use any ammo attachments, and you shouldn't have to reload too often either. But if you do, reloading is pretty brutal. The reload time is 6.7 seconds, and that's a long time. You can use sleight of hand as your gun perk to decrease the reload time. That'll drop it down to 4.61 seconds. But personally, I don't feel the need to attach extra ammo or a gun perk. For the rear grip though, I like to set this to the stippled grip tape. This gives you a boost in ADS and increases your sprint to fire speed. The base sprint to fire speed is 334 milliseconds, which is slow. So any help we can get with that to boost it back up is great. For the optic, I set this to the VLK with a T-pose reticle. This gives me a nice clear view of my target. The iron sights aren't that bad, but I will use them more so for multiplayer games rather than a big game map like Warzone, where sometimes you'll be fighting targets from really long distances and you'll be up against ARs with faster fire rates, so you want to be accurate and not miss your shots. Now, another option to consider is adding a laser, specifically the TAC laser. This is a great attachment. It will help with your ADS, aiming stability, and your aim walking steadiness, but comes at the cost of having a visible laser, which is what keeps me away from it. But if you don't mind having a visible laser, this is a fantastic attachment to use. Another attachment you could use to help with the ADS is the FSS close quarters stock, or if you're not happy with how slow you move with this gun, you could even consider the no stock. The only problem with this is you lose some recoil control, and I find the gun to be a little more difficult to control when I lose this, so I don't run the no stock. One quick final note, when you use this weapon, you're going to notice a slight trigger delay. The devs added this in with some of the heavier guns to mimic heavier triggers in real life, so you'll see a little delay from when you pull the trigger to when it actually shoots. Make sure you keep this in mind when running into enemies. This is not an ideal weapon for close quarters combat. You're better off with an SMG or an AR since they'll most likely have better ADS speeds and faster trigger speeds. But that about wraps it up for this video. You guys now have the best PKM Warzone class setup. Go get some victories, and if this video was helpful to you or you just enjoyed it, please smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
I knocked on that one. That guy you're shooting at? Yeah, there's more guys. I did. There we are.
Wow. Yo, RPG there. One RPG.
I wish I kept my RPG.
Found that one.
Should I rush?
Roll down, push.
Landing explosive.